This is the early evening of the 31st of July. One of my friends out of Tennessee sent me a clip put up on The Sun, and this is a little scary. This was published on the 30th, written by Isabel Shaw, SHAW health reporter. Title: Real Fears, Elevated Risk, New Pandemic Fears as UK health officials declare level 4 bird flu outbreak after virus jumped from cows to humans. Let's listen to this clip.
Your happy place.
They have an ad. They always have ads, don't they? Be about another 8 or 9 seconds.
Among scientists is that this strain of bird flu could jump to humans and spread between humans and cause another pandemic. That's a fear for lots of different pathogens. This one's come into the news because of the record number of infections in birds, and then this jump to mammals like seals, bears, a few others around the world.
It emerged in 2020 and has since spread around the world. Unlike earlier outbreaks, this H5N1 subtype is not causing significant disease in people.
Yet. Health officials have raised the pandemic risk of bird flu from 3 to 4 on a 6-tier scale after the virus jumped to cows and then humans. They're not going to stop, folks. They got away with it with the fake flu pandemic. So now they're going to come at us with this bird flu. The UK Health Security Agency, UKHSA, says there is a high uncertainty regarding the trajectory of the outbreak, and there is no apparent reduction in transmission in response to the biosecurity measures that have been introduced to date. The pandemic risk of bird flu has crept up from level 3 to level 4. The virus had jumped from birds to cows, then to humans. How do we know that? Because they told us that. Good reason to get rid of the cows, right? To protect us. To make sure the country is prepared for possible outbreak of the highly pathogenic H5N1 in humans, officials monitored its spread and assess its risk. This move comes after 4 dairy workers in the U.S. tested positive for the bug in a scary advancement that saw the virus jump from birds to cows, spread between them, and end up in humans. To become a pandemic, a virus needs to be able to infect humans easily and spread among them. So far, there is no evidence that bird flu can be transmitted between people. However, experts fear the sheer scale of the spread could give the virus more opportunities to mutate, which could accidentally enable H5N1 to better transmit between mammals and potentially humans. The recent outbreak in the U.S. cattle demonstrates that influenza AH5N1 continues to infect new mammals and spread between them. Dr. Susan Hopkins, the UKHSA Chief Medical Advisor, said, while the current risk to the UK population from influenza AH5N1 virus remains very low, an outbreak of this kind can increase the opportunities the virus has to evolve to spread between people at some point in the future. This is because the virus may adapt directly during transmission between mammals or may reassort with other flu viruses in humans or other mammals. Bird flu new level 4 risk means the disease has experienced sustained multiple multi-species outbreaks and increasing human zootoxic cases or limited person-to-person exposure, according to the report published earlier this month. To reach level 5, the virus would have to cause human outbreaks, larger or without identified zoonotic links, meaning it spread between humans. What is bird flu? Let's see what's in this. Another ad. For level 6, the UK would have to see sustained transmission between humans. Dr. Susan said the UK HSA would continue to monitor the situation closely. UK HSA has established preparations in place for detections of human cases of avian flu and stands ready to initiate an appropriate public health response should it be needed, she added. In government guidance issued in May, Brits were advised to stay at least 2 meters away from wild birds because of bird flu fears. People should avoid all contact with birds, which includes pigeons, swans, and seagulls, UK HSA said. I wonder, how about parakeets? How bird flu could spread. 1. Infected bird eaten by fox. 2. Infected fox dies of virus. 3. Virus spreads, reaches its end, and only poses low risk to humans who come in contact with infected animals. Virus mutates effectively to pass between humans. 2. Virus spreads among farm animals in close proximity. 3. High density of infection cause virus to mutate. 5. Virus spreads effectively among human population. 1. Infected bird eaten by pig on farm. 1 mutated virus makes better at passing on to humans, preparing for the worst. Some countries are discussing deploying vaccines or are working to secure supplies. In November, health officials told the Sun that the UK was drawing up plans to stockpile vaccines in case of a flu pandemic in humans. In May, the World Health Organization, who initiated a review of available influenza vaccines and confirmed that they would work against the H5N1 virus circulating in cattle. You know, they killed, 9 million birds, chickens? I wonder when they're going to start slaughtering cattle. Although the current public health risk is low, World Health Organization is operating in a constant state of readiness for a potential influenza pandemic, said Maria van Kerkhove, who heads epidemic and pandemic preparedness and prevention at the World Health Organization. Bird flu, could it be the next human pandemic? Bird flu is running rampant in wildlife around the world and is now spreading in cows. This increases in transmissions has given the virus lots of opportunities to mutate, a process where a pathogen changes and can become more dangerous. Scientists fear it's only a matter of time before one of these mutations makes it better at spreading among mammals and potentially humans. Some experts believe the virus could already be spreading among some animal species. So far, there's no evidence that H5N1 can spread between humans. But in the hundreds of cases where humans have been infected through contact with animals over the past 20 years, the mortality rate is high. From 2003 to 2024, 904 cases and 463 deaths caused by H5N1. Well, we know people die from influenza all the time, have been reported worldwide from 23 countries according to the World Health Organization. This puts the case fatality rate at 51%. Leading scientists have already warned that influenza is the pathogen most likely to trigger a new pandemic in the near future. Well, according to the statistics that I did studies on, back in 2016, 17, 18, 19, influenza and flu, they're absolute deadly killers. But they disappeared in 2021 and 2022 and 2023. Don't you find that sort of interesting? Actually, what they did is they toe tagged all those that died of influenza and the flu with COVID, so they could force people to take the kill shots. The prospect of a flu pandemic is alarming, although scientists have pointed out that vaccines against many strains, including H5N1, have already been developed. Others are still in the pipeline. This month, U.S. scientists announced the universal jab that protects against every form of flu, including bird flu, could be available within 5 years. So how this doesn't even make any sense. This month, U.S. scientists announced the universal jab. So if they announce the universal jab, that means that they already have that jab, does it not? Then they go on to say that protects against every form of flu, including bird flu, could be available within 5 years. Why isn't it available right now if they've already announced its availability? I mean, this is nuts. In June, the European Commission bought around 700,000 doses of a flu vaccine manufactured by CLS Seqirus in the UK, with the option to buy another 40 million. Wow, from 700,000 doses to 40 million, that's one hell of a jump. The vaccine protects against H5 strains of influenza A. Now, how do we know that? Because they tell us that? Meanwhile, Finland has already begun vaccinating people against avian influenza, focusing on high-risk workers at fur and poultry farms. In the U.S., scientists and pharmaceutical giant Moderna are developing an mRNA vaccine against bird flu. That shouldn't surprise anyone, should it? I'm amazed that Moderna is still in business and haven't had the crap suit out of them. Countries affected by H5N1 from 203 to 224: Bangladesh, Cambodia, Chile, China, Djibouti, Ecuador, Egypt, India, Indonesia, Iraq, Vietnam, Laos, Myanmar, Nepal, Nigeria, Pakistan, Spain, Thailand, Turkey, UK, USA. 14 cases. Absolute bullshit. Well, listen, they know, or they knew that it could scare the hell out of us and get us to roll up our sleeves. Many of us did. And many of those that did are dead, or they soon will be dead. And that's what's really sad. Special thanks goes out to my friend in Tennessee for having sent this to me. I'll attach the link. Look at it. Pass it along, and thanks for listening.